Welcome to the PE Fitness channel, that is Performance Enhancement. I am your host, Dylan Gemelli, and today we are going to talk about how to run the perfect post-cycle therapy. All right, you guys know that have been following me all this time that I am the biggest advocate out there on running a proper post-cycle therapy. There is literally nothing more important than your post-cycle therapy. If you don't have your recovery, you have nothing. You have no gains. You're not going to be in the gym. You're not going to have any health. You've got to recover, or there's nothing there. So the recovery aspect has to be taken with the most just sincere understanding and dedication to doing things the right way. Okay? This is not you've got to spend $1 million to do this or do that or do this or do that. You want to protect yourself and you want to make sure that you are absolutely recovering the best that you possibly can, because beyond the obvious of your health, you do want to keep your gains and the things that you worked as hard as you did for. Now, I am not going to sit here and try to, feed you a dream and tell you you're going to keep 100% of your gains. That is just ridiculous, and nobody should ever tell anybody that, all right? But you can keep a lot more than you have to lose, or that a lot of you have lost or probably will, by just simply running a proper post-cycle therapy. All right. And please don't ask me how much gains you will keep, because I nor any other human alive can tell you, unless there's some psychics out there that I'm not aware of, whatever. Okay. I can tell you this. You got a far, 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 far greater chance of keeping a lot more by running a good and proper and complete post-cycle therapy. So what do we got to do to create this perfect post-cycle therapy? We've got to start up your HPTA, your natural testosterone production. We got to get that going. We've got to prevent catabolism. We don't want you having muscle eaten away, which is very easy to have occur during post-cycle therapy. All right, we want to prevent fat gains. Well, increases in cortisol that are going to occur help to make you gain fat during post-cycle therapy. So we got to prevent that. We've got to prevent strength loss, because that's another thing that you're going to endure during post-cycle therapy. We certainly don't want that. We've got to get your hormone levels balanced out. All right. We've got to reduce side effects. So what do we actually need to use and take, and how long to address each of these problems? Well, to start up your natural testosterone production, you're going to need a combination of Clomid and Novadex. These are SERMs, all right, selective estrogen receptor modulators. I can show you studies and things of that nature on how they work. I'll do separate videos fully explaining these in detail. I'm just telling you what you need right now, okay? Clomid and Novadex. By the way, this post-cycle therapy that I recommend is a 6-week post-cycle therapy, and yes, that is on any cycle that you run, even if it's Anavar only. Yes, it's a steroid. It's going to shut you down. It's the same thing. Obviously, the heavier the cycle, the longer, it's worse of a shutdown. A shutdown is a shutdown. I'm sorry. People can argue with me all they want. You can do it your own way, and please just do it your own way, because everybody's got their own way of doing things. I am telling you, I promise you, you need a full post-cycle therapy no matter what cycle that you run. I will not back off of that, unless it's a SARMs or something else on the lighter side where you can get away with a mini post-cycle therapy. But we're talking about anabolic steroids, and I'm not backing off of that. I don't care who argues with me about it. I really don't. I don't think I know everything, not even close, but I do know this. I do know that you need to make sure that you recover properly. And I'm sure somebody's going to tell you, oh, well, I did. Well, that's great. Okay. Who knows if that's even accurate? And if it is, wonderful. I'm still not backing off of it, because I can tell you that for every one person that tells me that they recovered just fine doing nothing or with a little post-cycle therapy, I've talked to 30 other people that have just been a mess and a disaster. And those are not good odds. So I'm just going to leave that one alone from there. Now, preventing catabolism and preventing strength loss. Well, that's where MK2866 comes into play. Now, I know, Dylan, MK2866 is suppressive. Yes, it is. Well, isn't that counterproductive to a post-cycle therapy? Me, yes, it is. Well, then why would I do it? Well, because you're only going to use it 4 weeks. Now, I've studied this for years, and I do not see any blood work showing me, unless it was a fake SARM, any sort of suppression after 4 weeks of MK2866 use. Now, after 6 weeks, yes, you start to see a decline. Could be 5 weeks, possibly. Is it even possible at the end of 4 weeks? Perhaps, but it's very unlikely. And if you're running a full post-cycle therapy, even if it was starting to kind of kick in a little suppression, you'd never notice it. I would never recommend something to hinder your post-cycle therapy. You can see me talking and explaining about and stressing how important it is. So I would never sabotage a post-cycle therapy. There's a reason for this. It helps to increase your IGF levels. It helps to lower cortisol levels. It's going to keep your strength up. It's going to keep your power up. It's going to keep you going and help keep fat off in post-cycle therapy. Now, preventing fat gains. That's also GW501516. Like I was talking about earlier, it's going to increase your endurance. It's going to increase your metabolism. It's going to help with blood pressure. It's going to help with cholesterol. It's going to kick your performance up like you can't believe during post-cycle therapy. GW501516 is a very, very big piece of this, all right? And we've got to balance out our hormonal levels. Well, how do we do that? We've got to prevent estrogen levels from increasing and IGF from decreasing, right? So that's where we add aromasin. Now, there are times you may not need this nor want it because people that are very, very, very like not estrogen sensitive have to be careful. There are some people that can't touch an aromatase inhibitor because they just never have a problem. There's very, very few of you out there, but they do exist. And then there's also people that can't even run a TRT dose of test without getting puffy nipples and having estrogen levels skyrocket, even with an aromatase inhibitor. Those people also are few and far between. So you have to be aware and you have to know your body. But generally speaking, we're looking at taking aromasin during PCT for this purpose. And generally, I would say at least 4 weeks. Some people do go the 6 weeks, but don't go over 12.5 milligrams every other day. Let's go down the dosing protocol now. So Novadex, we're going to do 40 milligrams a day for the first 4 weeks, and then the last 2 weeks drop it to 20 milligrams. With Clomid, we're going to go 50 milligrams per day the first 4 weeks, and then we're going to drop it to 25 milligrams the last 2 weeks. Aromasin, as I said, 12.5 milligrams every other day, or 6.25 if you're one of those people that really, really, really just doesn't ever get any sort of estrogen issues whatsoever, and you want to be very careful. MK2866, 25 milligrams a day. GW501516, 20 milligrams per day. So that is the perfect PCT protocol explained, how to do it, how to dose it, what's there, why you need it. So there shouldn't be any confusion on that. I just hope everybody pays very close attention to this. It's such an important video and a concept to understand and learn. So I am Dylan Gemelli. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel. We got to get this thing built back up and just pump out good quality information for everybody. So subscribe and stay tuned for plenty more to come. I'm Dylan Gemelli, signing off.